And we're live. Yes. How you guys doing?
All good.
Hey, Tom.
Good, good,
I'm
good.
good. Yeah.
Awesome,
Josh.
man. We're happy to be joined here today, guys. It's MMA Fight Pass with Tom Owens and Archie Tovar. Got some of you guys live and some of you guys will be watching the video later, but we're all in our separate spots because of this coronavirus deal and it's some bullshit, but we're getting used to the technology here. You know what I mean? This is our 7th show with the virtual show. And me and Archie, we started a little bit late today, guys, but we're still learning it. It's just like jujitsu, you learn one thing at a time and you keep evolving. But before we start the show, guys, want to thank the sponsors out there. We got a few sponsors that have been helping us out lately. We're going to start off with Gentle Art CBD. They've been helping us out. If you guys want to get a good CBD oil for anxiety, for pain, for sleep, whatever your CBD needs, don't just trust any CBD, guys. There's CBDs on every corner right now. You can get CBD online. You can go down to the liquor store and get CBD, but they're not all created equal, guys. So Gentle Art CBD, acai. If you guys like acai, we got Rio acai bowls in Fresno. Same thing as the CBD, guys. You can go to Jamba Juice, or you can go to any of these little juice places and get a little acai, and they're not all the same. A lot of them have high fructose corn syrup and a bunch of bullshit in it. Rio acai, they got real acai. Me and Archie just left there. We got a little acai bowl, pretty damn good. A little granola on there, a little fruit on there, and then La Enchilada in Fresno, guys, on Blackstone. If you want to get some Mexican food, a good burrito, or maybe some carne asada tacos, or whatever your Mexican food needs are, La Enchilada, they're there for that. And guys, welcome today. We got Tom Knox he's the owner, he's the head instructor, he's a champion in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from Elite Team Visalia. It's probably one of the best Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu places you can go to, guys, in the Valley. I'd say it probably is the best here in the Valley, one of the best in California. And today we're joined by Tom Knox, head instructor, and we also have one of the top students there, guys. I believe he's still a brown belt, Josh Cisneros. You're a brown belt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a brown belt. He's going to be black belt anytime, I'm pretty sure. But guys, thank you for joining us. Really appreciate it. This coronavirus, man, it's got us all on lockdown. It's a bunch of, I'm not gonna get too much into it. I want to talk about it a little bit, but I'm a little bummed out though, man, with this coronavirus, man, and haven't been able to get the training that I normally get in, and I've been doing some garage training myself, and I know a few other people. They've been training in the garage and getting little groups going, but that training is going to start back up. I believe you guys started back up already, haven't you, Tom?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest, we never stopped. So
good. That's what I want to hear.
Me and Josh and a group of guys have honestly trained every day through this whole thing. So, I mean, attendance, it went down, but honestly, the group of guys we've been training with it's a tough group. So I'd almost say that our training during this time has gotten tougher,
I bet.
I mean, credit to the group of guys that keep coming to training, man. It's been some brutal sessions where, the next day it's been hard to walk. So.
And you guys that took the break, man, you're going to notice the difference when you go back into the gym. Cause hey, if anybody knows, if you train jiu-jitsu, when you take a little break, you do notice the difference when you come back and get back on the mat. And those guys that stayed in there and kept going. Hey, Cliff Sabro just joined us. All right. Hi, say hi to Cliff Sabro, guys. This technology is still new to me, man. I'm just like I said, this is our 7th time doing this virtual podcast, and I noticed throughout this coronavirus ordeal, there's been a lot of virtual things going on, podcasts, and everybody's doing their own little thing. But man, I'm honored to have you guys join us, man. Thank you for taking the time out of your day, Tom. I know you're a busy guy, and Josh, I know you're training hard. And Archie, thank you for putting this all together. Like I said, we're 10 minutes late, but hey, it happens. I show up to late to work all the time. So this is the fun job right here. And
cool.
Josh, we got you on here, you and Tom both, but Josh, I just found out from a recent post that Tom put that you're going to be competing in a Spider Invitational Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tournament. I don't know much about that, but I was hoping you guys can talk to us a little bit about that. Tell us about that. I think it's taking place in Korea, right?
Yeah, this one's taking place in I believe Seoul, Korea.
In Seoul,
This
Korea.
one,
Now,
it's gonna be yeah, this one is gonna be it's an 8-man bracket. It's just a qualifier. It's not. It's just a qualifier for like the final invitational bracket. So the top three, if you podium top three, you get invited to the final qualifier, and then if you take first, of course, you get prize money, which is $5,000.
$5,000 for jiu-jitsu, man. That's awesome. I've only competed for medals myself. And Tom, have you ever competed in this tournament before?
No, the Spider Invitational is for prospects and current like world champions in the adult division. So this is like Josh said, this is a qualifier. They're going to take the top three, and then what they're going to do is go into probably what's going to be a 16-man bracket that's probably going to have almost all black belts in it, and probably quite a few world and Pan Am adult black belt medalists in it. It's probably invitational wise the toughest tournament, and for the finals, they get $100,000. So it's serious money,
Are you kidding me? $100,000 for the finals?
100,000. What was it? Levi Jones just got $100,000, right, Josh?
Yeah, it was Levi Jones and Kanan Duarte.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
$100,000. That is something else. Is that just adult division, or is there masters and the other ones as well?
no, this is just strictly just an invitational tournament. Pretty much you have to have either qualified or won a world championship or be like an actual like top 10 guy in the weight division. So they're doing a specific weight division. So this one that Josh is doing is 65 kilograms. Obviously Josh he doesn't like to talk for himself, but I mean, he's number 2 in the world light feather. He's the current 2019 Nogi world champion. So not putting him into this bracket would have been a big, thing not to leave him out. So he's one guy that had to be in this division. And
how was he selected?
Yeah, how did he get in there?
Josh?
Yes.
They put up the well, first is Owen real close on. He sent me the application that Spider put out, because Spider, they posted on their Instagram applications for brown and purple belts, and from there I just applied, put in just my 5 most important recent achievements, just sent them like phone number, email, stuff like that, name, and then just sent it in, and then they got back to me. Well, I think they got to me on maybe Saturday night, maybe, or Friday night. I think maybe Friday night they got back to me. They hit me up. They said that I'm in on the bracket, and I talked to one of the ones that's organizing all my flight, my hotel, and all that stuff for me.
That is so sick. Archie, we're having all kinds of problems here on our end. Hey, let me grab first you were having the problem with the plug-in. Now I'm having the problem with the plug-in. Let me grab my cord real quick. Keep these guys going while I grab a cord real quick.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. But yeah, go ahead, Tom. Make an adjustment.
Okay, keep them going, brother.
Hey, Josh, one quick question about the tournament. So when did you hear about the money? When did you hear about the whole thing that in regards to the rules and regulations and what's going to go on for you? Was it just this weekend you were saying, right? But what else did you hear about that?
Nothing much. Just like the rules, regulations. The same thing as IBJJF, but it's gonna be only 7 minutes, so it's a little less time than I usually compete at. So I'll be able to put a better pace and energy into it. And it's actually, so I leave this Sunday, but it's actually on the 31st. But I'm supposed to leave this Sunday because for when we get there, I gotta get into a 2-week quarantine when I get there.
Oh man! So what's the date for the event? Once again?
May 31st.
May 31st. Okay, so there's some time. So are you doing anything different for this tournament? And do you know your competitors, the other guys from the bracket that are on the brackets?
Nothing different. Same training. We always train hard every day. It doesn't matter whether it's a tournament or not. We're always training to kill. And that's basically about it. The main focus is being able to get through the 2-week quarantine, keeping my cardio up. That's about it.
The competitors on the bracket themselves, have you competed against any of those guys? Do you know, what do you expect from them?
I competed against one. That's on the bracket. All the other ones is another Brazilian American, and the rest are Koreans. I only competed against one, which is Diego Sodre. I fought him and in the Phoenix Open. I lost to him by ref decision. It was a really, really close match. But he's legit. He's no joke. So is Fabricio Andre. He won featherweight Euros just recently. He's branding pretty well from AOJ. He's a standout. But the Koreans, I don't know anything about them. I don't know any of them. Only the Brazilians and the American.
All right, nice. Hey Tom, so Knox, what are you doing? Anything different to train Joshua to get him ready for this tournament, or are you just the intensity, or what's going on there?
I mean, like Josh said, the training at our gym every day, it doesn't change whether there's a tournament or no tournament. I mean, we literally train just as hard every single day as we do, tournament or no tournament. So maybe we try and throw just more body sizes at Josh that are similar to what he's going to be fighting, try and get more guys with a style that's going to be fighting in his division. Everything changes. Certain guys have certain styles, so I always like Josh to get looks for guys that are going to be similar for his division. Because understand, the lighter weight divisions, the light feather and feather, they fight totally different than the way a middleweight, medium, heavyweight would fight. It's just a little bit different style. But luckily, we got a lot of good guys. Like 160 and below for him to train with. One being his brother Jacob. But it really doesn't matter. Josh is going to go out there and the one thing you can say about Josh, win or lose, it's going to be an exciting fight. And I would bet to say that Josh has a higher submission ratio for his wins than anybody I can think of. It's crazy to see, Josh could be winning 35-0 and he's still looking for that sub, and that's one of the exciting things about not just him, but Jacob and a lot of the new generation guys that we have in our gym. They're going for the kill the whole time. So it makes it very exciting.
Nice. Tom,
hey, so
are you back?
Yeah, I know you guys are always going for the kill, and most of the fights that I've seen Josh and yourself and a lot of your other guys, you guys normally do when you win it. Normally it is a submission. When it comes to the training and people coming into the gym, it seems like, are you cool with anybody coming into the gym and like? What does it take for somebody from another school to come in and get some rounds in with like yourself or with Jacob or with Josh? Just a respectful attitude?
Just show up at the door and sign a waiver. There's nothing in our gym. I encourage people to come by our gym and train. They want good training. And that's always been the policy. And we have visitors every week from all over the world. Guys, now we're sort of becoming the stopping point between Los Angeles and San Francisco for guys to stop and train. So, that's always been the policy. Is just show up, sign a waiver, and
that is sick, dude. That is so sick. Tom, I remember you from a kid. How I first met Tom Knox was I grew up on a skateboard. You know what I mean? And just riding around town on a skateboard. And I remember you from way back at the YMCA, and the first time I ever met Tom Knox, they had a skateboard competition at the YMCA, and I believe you were sponsored by Santa Cruz Skateboards, and it was a half pipe competition. But Tom Knox has always been the kind of guy, respectful attitude, a nice guy, and as long as you showed him respect, he'll show you respect back. But you've always been like real serious about your game, whatever it was you approach. And you've taken the same approach to your jiu-jitsu as you did skateboarding. Do you still ride a skateboard?
Man, I try to at least 3-4 times a week. Usually, Friday and Saturday, Sundays, I'm out skating somewhere. And the funny thing is now, like, I'll go to the skate park, whatever, and I got 5 or 6 students at the skate park skating with me now. I got a lot of skaters that started training that are actually pretty good in jiu-jitsu and skateboarding.
That's sick. Hey, did they fill the damn skate park with dirt?
Not the Visalia one, no, not the Visalia. A couple parts in California have put sand in them, but the Visalia one's just closed.
The reason I bring up skateboarding is just the mentality, like jiu-jitsu and skateboarding. They're in a way they're kind of similar because it's not a team sport. You're in there with yourself, and you're thinking more than one step ahead, right? Your jiu-jitsu, you're definitely thinking more than one step ahead.
To me, the biggest things I can say are similarities is the repetition. Like, you always have to repeat the techniques to learn them. and with the tricks. You have to constantly repeat the tricks to make them, to land them. And the willingness to be able to get hurt in doing this. Like in skateboarding, there's always that risk. You're going to get hurt, you're going to fall. And it's always the same in jiu-jitsu. You got to take that risk every time you step on the mat, you might get hurt. So these are the biggest things. And like I said, just the discipline. You skate once a week, it's going to reflect. You train once a week, it's going to reflect. So, a lot of similarities, and just the mental toughness, you have to be tough. And like I said, be willing to take the hits in skateboarding and in jiu-jitsu.
That's sick, man. Now, Josh, your family, I also got a high amount of respect for your family. I'm not sure how many brothers you got. I know there's a handful of you. When I was younger, I trained with your older brother, Alex, a little bit. And but your dad, I got a high respect for your mom and your dad. They seem like they're behind you guys 110%. And your dad really is really behind you guys. And how does your dad approach this, man? Keep getting all of you in there and keeping you guys going. Does he even have to keep you going, and you guys love it that much, or is he really behind you, pushing you?
He was the one who got us into it at first, but when we first got into it, man, like the very first day we fell in love with it. And since then he's just been very supportive, taking us to tournaments everywhere we want to go. We have lots of love for it, but he's actually he pushed us for like competitions wise and put us in different competitions when we were little. Now it's all us. It's mainly us. All they do is support. They drive us wherever we need to go to get the training we need, to compete wherever we need to get the challenge to progress. But from day one, it's been we just completely fell in love with the sport, the art, everything about it. Just like the training, it was a big difference from going from wrestling, the not being on your back, to jiu-jitsu, to being on your back. And so it was a big difference. So at first, when we first started, we never on our back, and then now you see us pull guard basically almost every single match. We're always on our back. And yeah, him, my mom, they've done a lot just for us to progress and grow into what we are today.
I wanted to ask you about one of the submissions that I saw at a recent fight. It was Fight to Win, and I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a long time, just for years, and you do it for a long time, and you think you've seen most of the moves and most of the chokes. But there was a move, you were on your back. I think we talked about this before, but I was watching it the other day, and you call it the teepee choke, and it looked like the guy was going for a double under pass. Is that something you guys work, and then you put that choke on him? Is that something, Tom, that you guys work? Where did you learn that from? That was something else, man.
I think Josh got that from Neil's, if I'm correct, right, Josh?
Yeah, Neil showed that one day. It was back at the old gym. I forgot when. I think I must have been like maybe a yellow belt, orange belt, maybe. It was a long time ago. And he showed it in the class. And like we really liked it. We're like, we looked at it and we're like, when you get put in the choke, it's legit. It's like it sinks in and it's real nice and tight instantly. As soon as you lock it in, it's nice and tight.
Yeah, the guy went out like instantly.
Yeah.
Now, was that a move? Were you drilling that? Had you tapped a lot of people in class with that before you had used it in that tournament?
I used to do it in class a lot. But before that event, I haven't done it in class at all. I don't really like focusing on going for a TP choke because that kind of gives up position. It gives them a chance to stack and defend. But I haven't done that move in training. I don't know for how long now. But I always remember if anyone ever goes for double unders, it's always there. It's something in like my back pocket that I have for my arsenal. But yeah, I haven't done it in a while in training, actually. I've just been focusing on trying out different moves and like sweeps, taking it back more position first before the submission.
And on your back, so Tom, you have a black belt in judo. I know you did judo, and I'm sorry to hear about the loss of I got to train with him like one time a long time ago, and he taught at the YMCA, correct? What was his name again?
Sensei Emoto, Sam Emoto. Yeah, he's my instructor since I was 4 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sam Emoto, guys. Now, he's one of the originals. There's a lot of black belts in judo. that are out there today. Like I know a lot of people say they have a master of this or a master of that, but this man, he was a real student of the art. I don't know who his instructor was, but I know he was from Japan, wasn't he, Tom?
No, Sensei Moto was born here in America. He's American. His parents were from Japan, but his instructor, Professor Yamauchi, was one of Jigoro Kano's original students. So it was Jigoro Kano, Yamauchi, and Emoto. So,
and if you guys don't know, Jigoro Kano, he's one of the OGs. He's one of the originals, isn't he?
Well, Jigoro Kano is the founder of Judo, which Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Kano sent his instructors around the world. And the guy that went to Brazil was Maeda, and he's the one that basically showed Judo to the Brazilians, which sort of transformed it into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Long story, very, very short, but that's the way it happened. Basically what we're all doing right now in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is old Judo.
Old Judo. There you have it there.
Right.
Archie, what do you think about that? I know you did wrestling and you do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Did you ever do any straight Judo yourself?
Well, I didn't do any judo, but my younger boys, we actually put them in judo, but nothing in a couple of tournaments, but nothing to say that they did a lot of judo. But what I've noticed as far as the Central Valley, that judo was the sport before jiu-jitsu, and I guess learning a lot about the Central Valley judo scene.
The reason we have there's a very, very strong judo foundation in the Central Valley because it basically goes back to Japanese farmers. And there was a strong Japanese community here for a very, very long time. And between Visalia with Sensei Moto and Fresno with Sensei Mamura and the Takedas, you have a very, very strong background for a long time for judo in the Central Valley, going back to the late 50s, early 60s.
Yeah, we were a part of a Fowler Judo Club, but I'm sure all the lineage followed the Fresno Judo Club. But we were there for a little while, and it's just amazing to hear how judo was transformed into, or the judo players like Tom Camarillo's, all you judo players just transitioned so nicely into jiu-jitsu, and those are the stories today of jiu-jitsu.
Right, true.
You guys have any specific night that you do like train straight judo technique, Tom?
No, what I've done is just I've incorporated the judo throws that work good for jiu-jitsu. I just sort of incorporate those into our curriculum because a lot of the more modern judo techniques that work great for judo tournaments would put you in a very, very bad position for jiu-jitsu of giving up your back because, the rules for judo, you throw them flat on their back, you get an ippon, the match stops. Well, you throw me flat on my back in a jiu-jitsu tournament, you get 2 points, but the match doesn't stop. So you give me your back, now I can choke you and I got 4 points. So a lot of the throws that they get it to the ground, but you end up on the ground in a very, very bad position.
That's cool, man. That's really, really cool. Archie, I know. Go ahead, brother.
Oh no, I said what? So what we've done is just incorporate the judo throws that work and the wrestling that works to get the takedowns. And we've been fortunate, like I said, we got a family like Josh and his family, and we have a lot of good wrestlers in our gym. So we've gotten to practice a lot of takedowns and mix that in as well.
Your brother, your older brother, Josh, Alex, is he train with you guys still?
Not recently. He's been working, like with coronavirus and all that stuff lately. Yeah, he stopped a while ago, but he's gonna be getting back into it soon.
Yeah, he's a beast too, man. How many brothers do you have altogether, bro?
How
many brothers do you have, bro? 5 brothers.
Yeah, there's a total of 6 of us all together.
6 of you all together. Archie, have you rolled with all of them?
Probably. As I think about it, maybe, except with Caleb.
Is that the youngest one?
Yeah. Caleb, he's 10.
10 years old, man. That's crazy. And how long's he been at it?
He kind of started around the same time we did. So yeah, like He was like, it was all like fun and games for him. He wasn't like really doing. It was just like to get energy out for him and stuff like that. But I don't know, man. Like he does moves that I do now. Like he does the moves. He does the same exact moves: the deli heel, the bembo, the inverting guard, everything. He does everything we learn. We teach it to him, so he knows too. And he's trust me, when he gets older, man, he's gonna be tearing it up. His knowledge, he has lots of knowledge just for the age he's at right now. The belt he's at, he has a very, very good guard.
His guard is sick.
I
You gotta understand.
I bet it's ridiculous.
They would wheel him in. I remember this. His mom would bring him in a stroller. He'd put his gi on, go out, do the class, and then get back in the stroller. You know?
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
Hey, Josh.
So,
I have a question for Josh. Talking from a professional standpoint, you know, I mean, at this point, you're out of high school, you're going to college. Well, when you get back, you're going to go back to college. But in regards to sport, jiu-jitsu, you can make some money off of this. Are you looking to make it into some sort of career? I mean, obviously, there's goals. What are some of those goals that you have there for jiu-jitsu?
Oh yeah. Well, the goal now is well, the main goal always has been the main goal is winning the black belt IBJJF World Championship title. That's the title right there. And then also for Nogi Worlds as a black belt, I qualified for that. I won when I won the 2019 Nogi World Championships. ADCCs, I'm looking to do ADCCs, especially after I had that win over Keith McCormick. A lot of people said I had an amazing performance up there. Pretty much passed his guard, got mount, put in a couple of submissions. It was a good fight. He's an ADCC vet. He went there. So mainly I want to win the ADCC trials. I want to win IBJJF World. IBJJF Worlds is the top of my list. You win that, you are the man. Literally, you are the man in jiu-jitsu if you win IBJJF Worlds at the black belt adult division. That's the biggest goal there is for me right now.
How many more years left do you have?
Is that the top of the top?
Go ahead.
Is that the top of the top for gi jiu-jitsu for as far as competition goes, Tom?
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt. Josh is 1,000% correct. I mean, the adult division, black belt, IBJJF, you win that, that's like your legacy. You got to remember, every year there's only 10 adult world champions for all the weight classes. There's only 10 guys that call themselves world champions every year, and you know it's now that you have to qualify. You can't just enter the world championships anymore. You have to qualify. Even the qualification process is hard. I know Josh had a goal this year. Last year, 2019. Yes, 2019. Josh was a silver medalist at the World Championships in the brown belt. The winner of brown belt gets an exemption. They get an automatic qualification for black belt the next year. So I know Josh this year, you know, the tournament was supposed to be 2020 was supposed to be the end of May. I know he really wanted to win that, and I'm almost 100% positive he was going to win and get that exemption. He already has an exemption for the 2020 black belt no-gi worlds. So I have full confidence that in 2020, if they have a no-gi worlds, which I think there will be in December, that you're going to see Josh minimum on the podium for no-gi worlds at a black belt. But I have a feeling that he's probably, if he puts the work in, he's going to win this division, because I think he could have won it last year in the black belt.
Now let's get to this coronavirus a little bit. We were talking about it earlier. I work at Costco wholesale on the side of the podcast and everything, and man, I've been just tripping out on the way. It just feels totally different, man. Like, not to get off the subject of jiu-jitsu, but the attitudes of the managers, the way the customers are acting, the way the coworkers are acting. Everybody's wearing a mask. You can't see people's faces. It just, there's a real weird vibe going on, and it doesn't seem like it's fair for all these businesses that have shut down. Yourself and a lot of my friends that own jiu-jitsu schools, man, I just, when they shut down all these gyms and they say you got to shut these gyms down, it doesn't seem fair. Like, what is the person supposed to do? What do you really? I mean, what is this coronavirus, Tom? Like, let's talk about it a little bit. Is it just a flu? or is it really that dangerous? Do you know anybody that's gotten it?
I don't know anybody that's got it, but that's not to say, I said, I believe the virus is real. I'm not going to speak. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not qualified to speak on how bad it is medically or what it is medically. I don't know anybody that's had it. I do think small businesses have been treated very unfairly because, and it's not just jiu-jitsu schools, it's everything. It's nail salons, it's hair salons, it's shoe stores, it's everything. Why can I go buy a fishing rod at Walmart, but I can't go buy a fishing rod at a bait store because the bait store can't be open? You understand? There's so many hypocrisies going on right now with, miraculously this virus doesn't go into Walmart, Target, Lowe's, Home Depot, Costco, but it goes into a nail salon. I don't understand the difference, Hey,
or the cigarette store or the liquor store. Those are totally cool to go to.
Those are essential, I guess. But you want to keep yourself healthy and go to the gym for a workout, that's not essential. It's just our governor is not listening to the actual people that put him in office. He's, I said, I don't want to speak medically, and I don't want to, I know there's people that died. I don't want to sound insensitive. I think there's a smarter way we could have done this, as far as there shouldn't have been a knee-jerk reaction to just shut everything down. And that's basically what happened.
Now, did they make you guys shut down, or is it like up to you? Like, what's the deal? Is there any type of warning for anybody?
It's a governor's executive order, which enforces county health departments to enforce what they want. All I've received so far is a call from the county health department, and they told me that we're non-essential, which I understood. But at a certain point, I applied the first day that the PPP loan was available. I got denied because places, national chains like Ruth Chris, the LA Lakers, they got millions of dollars, and I couldn't even get enough money to pay my rent. I got, none of the programs that were put in place to help small businesses, I didn't receive. And none of my friends that own jiu-jitsu schools across the nation got these funds. Nobody did. Okay.
Nobody got it.
So some of us have been forced into a position where, hey, we're going to open up regardless because we got to pay rent. Our landlords aren't forgiving us rent. Okay. We got to put food in our mouths, and there's only one way to do it, and that's to have class. So if the cops want to show up and arrest me, I guess take me to jail because it's zero bail. I guess they put jiu-jitsu school owners in jail and let you out if you're a child molester, because that's the way it's going on right now. The jails are literally releasing felons and writing you a citation for trying to live a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to have any problems with police. I've got friends that are police officers and stuff, and I've heard the exact same thing that you just said. There's felons that are being released, child molesters. There's a lot of bad dudes out there that are getting released for way harsher crimes. Archie, what do you think about the coronavirus? Me and Archie were just together and at a park yesterday, and we were doing some of our work for the podcast, and man, there's people that are, what I've noticed is you're seeing a lot more people out and about, walking, riding bikes and running, right, Archie? There was a lot of people out there at the park, and it's a whole different vibe, whole different energy that I'm seeing around the town. I can't imagine what it's like down in the cities. You know what I mean? Like, I'm seeing videos on TV, like in LA and in New York and stuff, and they're going nuts, man. Cops are beating people up. People on the street are really uptight. It's not good. How long do you think that this virus deal is going to last? You think we're almost done with it?
I hope. I mean, like I said, I'm not a doctor. I just go by the facts that I can find from different sources. And I mean, it seems like we flattened the curve like the governor asked us to do. The hospitals didn't get overwhelmed. Hospitals are actually slow and furloughing people, at least in some areas. And around here, that's true. I think they need to take a controlled look at how to reopen everything and get certain segments going again, because they're going to have a lot more problems with homeless people and people not being just literally ruining people's lives because they can't go back to work.
And that's some bullshit. Corey Cass, thanks for tuning in, brother. We got Corey. Corey's one of our old school brothers that used to train with us. I know Tom knows Corey, and Corey's one of those guys that I know that he runs his own business. He works for himself. He runs tournaments, Grappling X guys. A lot of you guys know Grappling X. Corey also puts together mats. If you guys are looking for a mat, you want to get your mat done, seamless mat covers, Corey Cass is out there. Thanks for tuning in, Corey. Yeah, I just hope this is all over with soon, man. I like that you guys have your own businesses, and man, jiu-jitsu, you're doing jiu-jitsu for a living. That's a great feeling right there. And I just hope that stays going smooth for you guys. Archie, another thing I wanted to talk about this weekend is that this weekend or next weekend we have a big UFC card coming up. And you think that's going to go through this time, or you think that they're going to go through with it, or what?
It's on the card, May 9th. Yeah, these guys are getting their act together out there in Florida. And, that goes back to like Corey Cass, IBJJF, Fight to Win, all these event coordinators, promoters trying to get events going. Fight to Win just announced that them and Flow Wrestling or Flow Jiu-Jitsu are getting together to host an event. Not sure the format or how they're going to do it, but I'm sure they're scaling back with audience is my point. So speaking of tournaments, Tom, I had one for you. What about the IBJJF or just events in general? What's the landscape going to be like? You think we're going to have an IBJJF tournament again? Damn it. It's kind of hard to imagine that
it's going to happen. I mean, the IBJJF isn't going anywhere, just like Corey Cass isn't going to go anywhere. All these tournaments are going to be back around. It just depends on what states are opening. As far as IBJJF, what states are opening as far as allowing crowds and conventions. I'm sure the IBJJF will open their schedule as soon as they can and go to those places that they're allowed to hold events. So the states that open up and ease restrictions, I'm sure the IBJJF will be going there. I'm sure they'd love to get their schedule going again. I'm sure Corey wants to get his schedule going again. It's bad. It's bad for jiu-jitsu to not be able. It's bad for any sport. I mean, we don't have NFL, NBA, NHL. We don't have any major league sports going on right now. It's a major driver for our economy. And to just be sitting idly by waiting for the governor to tell us it's okay to have these events now. It's a little frustrating. To not have a light at the end of the tunnel and have them just keep putting things farther out. But
from an athlete standpoint, Josh, what do you think? I mean, all of us here, we go out to tournaments, but you probably more than anyone else, Josh, or you and Tom. From an athlete, Josh, what's your take?
I agree. It's as an athlete, I miss the thrill of the competition. I miss competing. It's fun. I really enjoy competing. The process to going through it, really fun. But yeah, I think in no time it's gonna get back to normal. IBJJF definitely will start again whenever they can, as soon as they can. And then when they do, I'll be right back to competing again too. I'm already back to competing. Spider Korea, they already opened up theirs in Korea. So I get what I hear is that Korea is already kind of back to normal. Everything's back to normal over there. So I already be competing again. So that's fun. For that time. Because like right now, I'm supposed to be getting ready for Worlds, but Worlds isn't happening. So a good thing Spider Korea came in through, because it's a year-round kind of schedule. Year-round, around this time of the year, I'm getting ready for a tournament, and it feels weird not having a tournament. It feels weird not going to compete for Pans and for Worlds. I don't know. It's just that type of, you're just training, and then usually I'm looking forward to the next tournament, but now there's not a next tournament to look forward to. So to me, it just feels weird. I just miss being out there on the mats in front of everyone, just being able to compete and put on and showcase my skills.
Speaking of Korea, Tom or Josh, have you guys, either one of you ever been over there?
Say again?
I've never been to Korea.
To Korea?
Been to Japan a couple times, a few times for Japan, but
Yeah.
never Korea.
No, Korea. This is gonna be my first time going out there. I'm gonna be out there by myself for 3 weeks. I won't be back until like June 1st or 2nd. So this is gonna be this is my first time traveling out of the country, actually anywhere by myself. So it's gonna be an experience for me.
Yeah,
Wow.
traveling out of the country is really something else. Tom, I know you've been to Japan, what, once or twice? A couple times?
Repeat that. It sort of cut out. Sorry, it cut out.
You've been to Japan once or twice?
Oh, I've been to Japan like 6 times. Josh went with us. You went with me twice this last year. Me and Josh went to Japan in June for the Tokyo Open, and we went back in September for the Asian Open. I think, like Josh said, it's I enjoy the process, the training, getting ready for the tournaments, the traveling all over the world, Japan, Europe. Man, it's just the whole process of competing and training. I love every minute of it. I miss that. You know? It gives you a goal. It gives you something to train for. And like I said, it's just a camaraderie of training and traveling together. It's really fun. And, you know, we've been lucky now that we get to travel the world doing jiu-jitsu. We got sponsors that help us out to do this now. And, you know, it's amazing to see the growth and to be able to provide, you know, now somebody like Josh is literally going to be able to make a really good living, should he choose to, from just jiu-jitsu, you know, versus, you know, compared to even 10 years ago. It's totally different landscape.
It's a totally different thing, man. I remember when I was competing, you helped me, man, when I got to go and compete in Brazil, when I competed in the World Championships in Brazil as a belt. And I remember that group that we had, Tom, man, those were the good old days, weren't they? We had a small little group of guys, and there's only a few of us left that are training still. I remember we talked about this before, but there's only a couple of us left that are still doing it. You definitely do it more than me, but like Corey and James, I remember Joe Soria and James Navarez, these guys that we had, Ernie and Ron. I know Ron still trains a lot, doesn't he? Ron Holsey.
Oh man, Ron's a beast, dude. Me and Josh go to war with Ron every night, man.
Yes, talk about Ron a little bit. Ron's a quiet guy. A lot of you guys out there may not know who Ron Holsey is. He's I know him from Porterville. I don't know if he's from there still. Ron Luis Gonzalez, but Ron was one of the main guys that really helped me a lot when I competed and went to any tournament that I went to. I remember if I had been rolling with Ron a lot, like leading up to that tournament, like it always helped me out tremendously. Ron is one of the best dudes out there, man. If you guys haven't rolled with Ron, go over to Elite here in Visalia, Elite team, and get some rolls in with Ron. How often is Ron down there, and does he teach, and what nights?
I mean, Ron probably trains 4 or 5 times a week. He teaches if I'm gone or if I'm just burned out at night, you know, he'll help teach. But I mean, Ron's just one of those guys, man. His game, you know, he's got a couple of moves that you know he's going to do, and he's still going to catch you in them. Like his triangle and his darce are just ridiculous, you know.
One of the best triangles I've ever felt.
Right.
Definitely one of the best triangles in the game.
You know,
what do you think, Archie, about Ron?
You know, Ron's an animal. I mean, rolling with him, I know about those darts and triangles. And you know, Tom, Knox, I had a question for you. You know, as we meet different gym owners, different styles, different professors out there,
right.
You know, I know you made a decision to open up a gym, and you went under Professor Kleber. You know, and can you kind of tell us a little bit about your connection, how you made that decision, knowing that there was probably other guys around that you could have probably gone under their system and whatnot?
We moved down to Orange County in 2006, and we lived in Newport Beach. And at the time, Kleber was still competing a lot, and he had one of the best competition teams around at that time. He had a lot of really good purple and brown belts, and I was a purple belt at the time. And I showed up at his gym one day. We'd already been living in Orange County maybe like 2 weeks, and I wanted to go train there, so I show up at his gym, and it was a morning class. And man, I walked right through the door, and he just treated me really well, very respectful, super friendly. And I trained that day 2 hours, and were some beasts there, Felipe and Asa, and Chris Tui and Kleber, and they just kicked my butt, but they were all super nice, and I just loved the vibe there. And after training with Kleber for a few years, I got to be good friends with him. And then when the economy crashed in 2008, we decided to move back to Visalia, and I talked to Kleber about opening up a gym, and he supported me. And man, like I said, he's just grown from being just not just my instructor to being a good friend of mine, a good role model, and really, really helped me develop a business model and a training method. And like I said, he's been a good inspiration source for me. He still trains just as hard as me and Josh do. This guy's an animal, man. He still fights MMA. This guy's crazy. Still competes.
Does he fight MMA still?
If you offered Kleber a fight tomorrow, he'd probably take it. You know,
Yeah.
He's the same mentality that Josh talked about. He likes the process of training, the process of cutting weight. He enjoys the whole thing. You know, he's a competitor at heart, and he's another guy. Like, you know, he doesn't just lead by, oh, I think this is how it works. He's been there, he's done that, and he leads by example too. You know.
And he's a black belt under the legendary Hickson Gracie, isn't he?
Hickson and Hoyler. He's an original Gracie.
Black belt under?
He's from Gracie Umaita. Gracie Umaita. So that's Hoyler, Hickson. You know, that's where he got his black belt, was Gracie Umaita.
So sick, man. These stories can go on forever. I remember those old jiu-jitsu days, those old tournaments we would go to when there was only a couple tournaments in California. Right. Kleber was always putting it on the line. He was always going out there and fighting like some of the main professors that were out there. Kleber always putting it on the line. And it seemed like Kleber also had judo experience. Seemed like he had is he also a judo black belt?
Yeah, Kleber's a black belt in judo, really good black belt in judo.
Wow.
His background, and it's funny because a lot of the black belts that came from Kleber are also black belts in judo. Felipe is a ridiculous black belt in judo, like national level Brazilian player. There's been some guys from Kleber's, Daniel and Anthony, these two black belts from Kleber that have Coachella Valley Jiu Jitsu. They're sick judo guys as well. You know, so there's been a lot of judo guys that went to Kleber, I think, just for that connection of the judo and the jiu-jitsu.
Nice history there.
Now, guys, there'll be guys out there. There'll be different types of people that watch these videos. I have different friends and family and stuff, and a lot of people that don't train martial arts. But for me, I'm not a big competitor or anything like that. But jiu-jitsu, growing up, I had different problems in life. You know, getting in trouble and different things like that. Jiu-jitsu really changed my life, man. It's changed my life in multiple ways. And I think jiu-jitsu, it can help people in so many different ways. Even if you're not a competitor and you don't fight MMA or anything like that, guys, even if you don't do jiu-jitsu, stepping into a martial art can really help you out in so many different ways. But jiu-jitsu, there's something about jiu-jitsu compared to the other arts because of the one-on-one that you have to work. And for me, it seemed like in jiu-jitsu, you have to adapt to losing. It's like losing is a part of the deal. And losing isn't looked at in any type of a bad way or anything. Losing, you actually gain so much from it. Talk about that a little bit, guys. Winning and losing. I mean, it's super important, isn't it? Like in jiu-jitsu, you're gonna always, in class or competition, you're gonna get tapped out and you're gonna face the loss. But man, it's like a friendly thing, and you shake hands after, and don't you learn so much from it? Talk about what you can get out of jiu-jitsu if you're just a guy off the street.
Go ahead, Josh.
Say you're a kid off the street.
So in jiu-jitsu, man, I've learned many things, man. Discipline. Mainly being disciplined to show up to practice every day, being respectful. I mean, in jiu-jitsu, and when you take a loss, you really learn, like, it pulls you down. No one likes to lose. Everyone hates to lose. I hate to lose. But when you lose, you learn from that loss. I always watch back on my matches and I learned, like, okay, what did I do wrong? And whenever you lose, you're always going to come back stronger. And when I first started, like when I first came in, I was getting my butt kicked. Like I was just getting my butt kicked. But if you just stick through it, like, you'll get better. You'll get better, and then you'll go up against higher level belts, and then you're gonna get your butt kicked again, and you're gonna find even better people get your butt kicked again. And the more you get your butt kicked, the better you're gonna get. You're gonna get better the more you get your butt kicked. And so, like whenever I took a loss at Pans. I came back and I fought the same guy. Again, I lost him again in a close match, but still, every match I fought Diego Pato, I lost him 5-6 times, but every single time I came back, it always got close. I always got closer and closer to beating him. But it always came closer and closer. I always learned from each match I ever had with him, and which he's a great athlete, dude. He's doing really good as a black belt. And I loved having those matches. Those matches against him were so fun. And every loss I took from him, I learned so much from each and every single one. I grew so much from each and every single loss. So losing is definitely part of the process. Now, if you just go in and win literally everything from the start to the end, like, you are just born with a great talent. You are just genuinely gifted. But not everyone's like that. And there's a high percentage chance that if you're just someone get off the block and you come in like that, you're not going to be like that. There's a very high percentage that you're not just going to come in and win everything. So you have to be very, very patient. And it really helps with keeping you calm, because if you try to get emotional in jiu-jitsu and stuff, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to create openings. And so it helps with keeping you calm. And even like through other situations. So like with jiu-jitsu, in Alaska. So in Alaska, I went in December with my girlfriend and her cousin. Her cousin had a little accident. She has trouble breathing. And so when she had trouble breathing, everyone else was freaking out. Like she passed out. She literally passed out. And she wasn't breathing. Her body was stiff. She looked blue. And I don't know. Like, to me, like, yeah, it was a very, very like scary situation, but I wasn't really freaking out. I stayed calm. I grabbed her. We picked her up. We took her straight to the hospital. And I think that like jiu-jitsu helped me out a lot with that. A lot of my training, just like staying calm. And luckily, when we got there, the doctor said if she was here like a second later, she wouldn't be breathing today. So it was a good time that we got there when we did. And so yeah, I think jiu-jitsu is what helped me a lot with that.
Hi to your mom back there. I remember your mom. Your mom was telling me. Hey, and Jocelyn, that young lady you guys just seen pop up from behind. I don't know if she gets on the mat or not, but I know she's in the dojo a whole lot, and she's really backs you guys up a lot. Your mom and your dad, once again, man. Like, I haven't seen too many moms and dads that get behind their kids that much. You know what I mean? It takes a lot, man, to bring your kids to the dojo all the time and to get involved like that. It doesn't get Tom.
Jocelyn's a blue belt now.
There we go.
Whenever we're at the gym, she's also at the gym. There's not a day you're never going to see her not there. She is there every single day, every single practice of every single second of it. She is always there. She gets on the mat. She drills with Caleb on the side. She trains. She started late, so if she tries to do it, she might get hurt. She's like more prone to getting injured, but so she takes it very easy and light. But still, she has a lot of strength for her size. She's small, she's short, but she has a lot of strength for her age and size.
Yeah,
she'll probably tap out most dudes that are out there. I wouldn't be surprised.
She does really good. She does a lot of privates with
man.
Little kids, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys got a young kid out there, and I'll tell you what, for your child, like I like all martial arts. And when I growing up, I did karate and taekwondo and just different tai chi. I did like some kung fu and Morse karate, and they were all very beneficial. But when I got into college and I started with Japanese jiu-jitsu, it was the first jiu-jitsu that I did. There was something different about it, man. Like, there was really something different about the jiu-jitsu, the one-on-one experience that we just talked about. But guys, I really encourage you guys, if you're in Visalia, there's different jiu-jitsu schools to go to, but you guys stop in and see Josh and Tom. And the important thing, guys, anybody can go in there, but man, you can just go in there with a good attitude. Don't go in there with some tough guy attitude. That's the problem that a lot of people do, especially men, it seems like. You go into a place like that and you think you're some big, strong guy and you're going to go in there and you're going to have some kind of attitude, and it just doesn't work out for you. But you go in there with a good attitude, these guys will welcome you right into the mat. You know what I mean? You'll have a great time. You'll get worked over. You'll get tapped out. And if you come back, the main thing is that you come back and you come back to keep learning. And Archie, you've been training jiu-jitsu for some time now. I don't know if Elite Team was the first school that you went to, but Archie, tell us a little bit about your journey there and your experience at Elite.
Yeah, no, that's been the only school I've been to. I mean, the only belted affiliated system. We all messed around with jiu-jitsu before we got serious, right? In my hometown, there's guys that did jiu-jitsu, but just like everyone, we all search for a school, right? And I really not sure how I found. Where did I find you, Tom? Where did I find?
I remember. I just remember, man. I came and rolled when you guys had the wrestling gym there, and I rolled with you and Julia and Archie Jr. And man, I remember just like, yeah, it's really tough guys. I'm like, man, you guys have a talent. Let's put it to use. You know?
Yeah, and then actually right after that, like you said, I mean, all of my boys started rolling with you, and then they started doing the MMA deal, and that our jiu-jitsu has only come from one school, really. It's from Elite and Clever. So it's and then Mr. Bruce Tafoya, got involved with him quite a bit. It was a real honor to work with Bruce, technician galore. So my whole journey with jiu-jitsu has been through the Clever system, Tom's, and with Elite, and then rolling with some killers like Joshua and company, and just all the other guys. Fun school, and we're from the competitive standpoint, so it was always great to go to a tournament, and it's beyond that, just kind of preparing for the tournament with all the people preparing for the same tournament. And that preparation time is just like nothing else. And I'm sure that's what, Josh is feeling now. He's feeling the itch and the burn of competing and preparing and getting all that in the system. Hey, Josh, how long ago was it that you applied for that tournament that you're going to go to? How long did you wait? Or yeah.
I think like a week. Like the week that they brought it out, that's as soon as they posted it, I applied, and I think I waited for like a couple of days, just a few days, like 5 days to a week maybe, and then that's when they hit me up. But it didn't take very long. I was waiting. I was like, okay, if I'll know by the time they post out the brackets, because the brackets were just posted out. What's it? Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was May 4th. So yesterday they just posted a bracket. So I knew either they're gonna announce the brackets first and then get in touch with me, or they're just gonna get in touch with me and yeah. But I would know whether I got it or not by the time they announce the brackets. So
That's good. Well, it's a good sign that at least there's a tournament or some sort of 8-man bracket tournament going on, and maybe that's a good start. Maybe that's a sign for everybody across the world. Start with 8-man bracket tournament and get your competition and get your group going out there, and eventually it will lead to a 64-man bracket or 100 people out there or something. It's a good start, though. Hopefully.
Hey, and $5,000 at the end of that bad boy. You know anything about this young man that you're going against, Josh? The first guy you're fighting?
The first time I'm
He's from
fighting,
Korea.
yeah, he's a Korean. I don't know. I've never seen the guy. I've never seen him compete. I've never watched him compete or anything. But I don't. There's no underestimating anyone. If they have anyone in Korea on the Spider Invitational, I assume everyone I go up against is world champion. I treat everyone like they're a world champion, and I go out there with my expectation of going 100%, 110% going for the sub. It's not just the points. I always want the sub. Make it. Always want to put on a dominant performance, no matter who it's against, who it is. So, I mean, if he's on the bracket, he must be good enough to be on the bracket. So all I can expect is to go out there and play my game, and and put my hands on him and put my dominance on the mat. So
Nice.
Hey Tom, do you ever see or is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, is it an Olympic sport yet? Or do you see it going to the Olympics?
No,
Gotta,
I mean,
doesn't it?
I don't think it will be because it's too similar, number one, to judo. Yeah, and my personal belief is that the Olympics take sports and makes them worse. Okay, because they make
Talk about that a little bit.
just too many, like judo now in the Olympics is not anything like it was, even 10 years ago. They've added more rules. There's too much politics to get involved. Like the same with the wrestling, it politicizes it too much, and it lets governing bodies from specific governments get involved. I think jiu-jitsu, for one, is better off being in private hands. The athletes will make more money. Travis Stevens did a really good blog. Travis Stevens is an Olympic silver medalist from the 2016 Olympics for the United States. He did a really good blog about the amount of money he made that year for his silver medal. Okay, the amount of money the United States Olympic Committee paid him. After everything was said and done, he made about $90,000 total. That's for working his ass off and getting a silver medal. $90,000. Okay. And during that year, he wasn't allowed. Travis Stevens, understand, was a really, really top jiu-jitsu competitor at the time too. Okay. But the United States Olympic Committee barred him, and the International Judo Federation barred him from competing in any other combat sports during that Olympic year. So he couldn't make money from jiu-jitsu. Okay. He couldn't do anything. The amount of money you can make from just professional jiu-jitsu now is way more you can make doing for Olympic judo. Okay, these guys like Gordon Ryan and Gary Tonin and the top jiu-jitsu competitors now, not just from the amount of prize money they win at tournaments, but the seminars, everything that they gain from their value as a jiu-jitsu athlete far outweighs what you can make in an Olympic competition. So to me, it's better off left in a private enterprise, just like football, baseball, basketball, hockey, golf is all better ran by the private organizations than it is, by government organizations. Professional football, European football players, they make more money on their club teams than they do going back playing for their national teams, So a guy like Messi makes way more money playing for his club team than he does playing for Argentina. It's just better, my opinion, to leave jiu-jitsu in private hands. That's just my opinion, though.
I agree. Yep. Hey, it's a good opinion right there. Guys, is there anybody out there, guys, before we close this bad boy up, that you guys want to thank, like any sponsors or anything like that? Is there anybody out there that we can thank for everything that you guys are doing and maybe something that you got coming up? Josh, you got any sponsors out there? Or Tom, you got any sponsors that you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I have a couple of sponsors. Justin Mosley, Justin Mosley Insurance. He's a State Farm insurance agent. Like thanking, he's helped me out a lot, helping me for funds for traveling and stuff like that. Same thing with Dave, Pokerito in Visalia. They're still open. Their food is so good. I love their Pokerito food, and they've also helped me out with funds, a lot of the funds for traveling and competing and stuff like that overseas. And the same thing with Felix Lara. He's also helped me out with spending money, just help sponsoring me. And then my main sponsor is Moya Brand. They've helped me out with a new contract, gis. So I'm gonna pay for gis and stuff like that. And then even mixtape brand. So now I got my own free mixtape, my own tape for my fingers and stuff to help with my fingers.
Nice.
And yeah, that's about it.
Congratulations on that, man. Go for it.
Man, heck yeah. And one more of our sponsors that I gotta thank, guys. If you're here in Visalia, California, Four Seasons Handy Market over there on Goshen Avenue, guys. It's a little gas station liquor store on the corner right there, right, Archie?
Yep.
Guys, if you want some real good barbecue, smoked barbecue, the guy's an OG barbecuist. Like we're talking about jiu-jitsu, this guy's about barbecue. Stop into Four Seasons, guys. Get yourself some barbecue, some gas, beer, whatever you want, something cold to drink. And Archie, is there any sponsors that I missed?
No, actually, Pokerito is part of our sponsors, and Justin Mosley has reached out there before. But Tom, Knox, did you have anyone else also that you want to just do a shout out for too?
Man, it's almost an identical list for Josh. Like I said, there's been a few of our students, Justin Mosley, State Farm Insurance in Visalia, David at Pocarito in Visalia. They've helped out not just Josh, but our entire team for traveling and tournaments. And like I said, I got to really thank Moya Brand. He's sponsored me for going on 6 years now. And as soon as I mentioned the boys to him, he's like, hey, you know, he got their backs from an early age. I think Josh and Jacob were probably like, 13, 14 years old, Josh, when you guys started getting stuff from Moya. I don't know. Pretty young.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was like right before I got my orange belt, I think.
Right. So Moya has really helped out with funds for traveling and gis, and said we got at our gym, we got a good family atmosphere. We have a lot of students, and a lot of them are very generous with helping out the guys that really put their work in and want to travel and compete and train, because it is expensive. You want to go to Japan or Europe for a tournament, I mean, it's $1,000, $2,000 just to go over there for 5-6 days, So
not cheap. It's not cheap, man. You can help somebody fulfill their dream. And guys, I know there's some people out there that want to sponsor people. And hey, man, we're always looking for sponsors. The podcast is, and these jiu-jitsu competitors, they're always looking for sponsors. And these are young guys that are going out there and really, man, to go out there and put yourself on the line like that, that's really reaching out for a dream. It's different than a team sport. Team sports are great too. Don't get me wrong, team sports are great, but when you do something like MMA or jiu-jitsu or kickboxing, and it's one-on-one, like man versus man, it's a different type of a thing. And we could sit here and we could talk about jiu-jitsu all day. The purpose that me and Archie and the podcast, like we hope that we can catch just one guy out there, just one guy, and go, hey, you know what, man? Maybe I think I want to go down there and try some jiu-jitsu. But like I said, we can talk about it all day, guys. But like one of my senseis in jiu-jitsu, he passed away recently as well. Ed Peterson, he was my Japanese jiu-jitsu instructor, and he passed away recently. And there was one thing that he told me. It went something like this. I'll try to say it like he said, but he told me, how did he say it? All of you guys have heard like the whispering of the pine trees. The secrets of jiu-jitsu, of judo and jiu-jitsu, they can only be suggested. It is only through personal experience that one can comprehend the mystic ecstasy of such secrets. And it really is the truth. Like you can only, right, Tom? There's only one way to find out about jiu-jitsu. Right, Josh? Is to get on the mat and get out there and do it. And that guy said that to me, and man, I didn't understand what he meant back then, but after years of him doing it, he was right. Like we can talk about it all day, and you can suggest it to somebody, but the only way that you can find out about it, see how cool it is, and how much it can help you, and how much it can change your life, is to go in. You don't have to go to Elite. You can go to any gym. We're recommending different gyms, but get on the mat, man. Go down there and meet a coach and find out about jiu-jitsu. So Tom and Josh, I'm going to thank you guys again, man. I wish you guys the best. Me and Archie will come down and roll with you guys soon. Maybe this week, me and Archie will come down if we can come down and get beat up a little bit, if it's all good with you guys. But we'll keep 6 feet distance and we'll wear a mask.
It's not necessary.
I'll be sure to wear the coronavirus. Yeah. And then at work, they got us wearing these damn masks, dude.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. It's something ridiculous. It's unhealthy, man. I'll say one more thing about that damn coronavirus. It feels more unhealthy wearing that damn mask than not wearing it. But that's enough with that. Archie, we got anything else to close up the podcast, brother?
No, we're good. I just want to say thanks to Tom and Josh, and congratulations, Josh, on your tournament coming up. And I'm sure you're going to go out there to go kick some ass and be number one, and keep searching for them tournaments. And I guess that's a sign for everyone else. There's tournaments out there, and keep searching, and hopefully we'll have more of that to search from.
Perfect.
And guys, this next Thursday, it's looking real close. Like we're gonna have the legendary corner man, and he's also a legendary martial artist himself. Colin Ayama is going to be joining us on the podcast. Cole Ayama has been in the corner of many guys, Quentin Jackson, all kinds of different types of guys. He's a UFC corner man, and we're probably going to have him joining us. And we got a lot of good guests coming up. On the 12th, I believe, we have Tosh Cook. He's a black belt under Hoist Gracie from Hoist Gracie Jiu Jitsu School in Fresno. He'll be joining us. But our podcast, guys, we're still new. We're trying to grow. We hope you guys can share our podcast and pass this on to other people and spread the word. And all we're trying to do, guys, is spread the word of jiu-jitsu and martial arts, MMA, and hopefully, like I said, we can get somebody, catch their attention. Somebody it'll change their life. You know what I mean? So thank you, everybody, for tuning in again. Thank you to all of our sponsors. And, man, Josh, I just wish you the best over there in Korea. And,
Thank you.
one more thing. Is there any way that we can watch this? Is it going to be online?
If anything, I don't know what live streams, but if anything, it might just be on Flow Grappling to live stream it. Flow Grappling is the main one to live stream it, but
Okay.
I don't know what streams or what platforms are going to stream it on. I don't know yet. I don't think that hasn't been announced by them yet, but if anything, might just be Flow Grappling.
All right. Tom Knox, you got anything else to close out with, my friend?
And just we're going to put in a lot of hard work this week. You know, get Josh some hard training so he can go already as skinny as possible, because he's going to have 2 weeks. He's going to have to cut weight. So come down this week. We're putting in hard work every day.
Archie, maybe we can go down there and get beat up a little bit.
I think so. It's a plan.
All right. Well, everybody out there, we want to thank you guys for tuning in. And if you, a lot of our guests watch the show later on, especially this virtual show. It's still new and everything. But thank you guys very much for tuning in. Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Tom. You guys have a great night. Go and do it, man. Do your thing, Josh. Live your dream out. And hi to your parents too, David and Jocelyn. Cool.
See you later.
See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. All right.